Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we are gathered here tonight for a little hot seat head-to-head action. And I have gathered two of my closest friends, figuratively speaking. They're both very far away from me. But if they were here, I'd give them both a hug. Let's go ahead. Let's meet them. First up, Huntsville, Alabama. Mike Mott, my friend. How you doing? What are you drinking?
Chris, I'm doing great. I'm super happy to be here with y'all hanging out and playing some trivia. As far as what I'm drinking is concerned, this is from the Jester King Brewery out of Austin, Texas. It is their Noble King Hoppy Farmhouse Ale. It's got a really cool picture of a lion, basically, that looks like he's made out of hops on the label. So, as you know, or as some listeners know, and as Chris knows, and Brittany knows, I collect beer labels. So I tend to select beers not just for the style that I like, but also for the coolness of the label. So label's cool. Let's see how the beer is. Oh shit!
Hey, Mike's desk. How does the beer taste?
Right. That was definitely carbonated. Let's put it that way. Jeez Louise. Oh, the beer itself tastes very good, but it is definitely carbonated. When it said hoppy, I didn't think that meant that the beer would literally hop out of the can.
I was about to make that joke.
Love it. But anyway, but yeah, I'm doing good. While you continue the intros, I'm gonna go get a towel.
Oh, my Lord. All right, let's go over to Chicagoland, Illinois. Brittany Shaw, my friend. How you doing? What are you sipping on?
I am doing about as well as can be expected, given the general everything. But I am sipping on from the Wicked Grove Cidery out of Middlebury, Vermont. A Wicked Cider, hard cider, wicked good with spiced plum.
Very nice.
Which does not make the best Foley noise, so...
Supplementary
Foley.
Oh,
It's my
Lord.
specialty.
I can't. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn here. This is from the Three Sons Brewing Company. It's from a city in Florida I've never heard of. I looked it up. It's outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Did they rip off Three Daughters, or?
I don't know, but it's from Dania Beach, Florida, which is, it looks like it's on the outskirts of Fort Lauderdale. This is their Light Crispy Boys, which I thought was really cool. The Light Crispy Boys lager, American lager, in case you were worried it was going to be a lager from Canada or Mexico or China. It cost me a little bit more now and it'd take me a lot longer to get.
I will drink because of that.
Cheers, my friends.
Cheers to good beer.
That actually is a Light Crispy Boy.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, for comparison's sake, do me a favor. Can you hold your can up to the side of your head? These are pint-sized cans.
Nice.
Look at how much bigger my head is than Mike's. My God.
But figuratively, I'm an arrogant asshole, so...
I should have taken a screenshot of that, because otherwise no one but me got to see that.
Some things are better left to the imagination.
Indeed. It's a good thing for me and Chris this is an audio medium. Let's just put it that way.
Thank God. Like, although somewhere out there is this horrendous video of us singing in Nashville.
That is true.
Floating around in the ether. Well, we're going to jump right into it. It is a Mike versus Brittany battle of the big brains. And we're going to start with our pregame. Brittany, you are technically our guest. Do you want odds or evens in the pregame?
I will take odds.
Mike, that means you can't... No, Brittany can't even. Mike, you get evens. All right. Here is your pregame category. I have gathered a list of the 20 most populous city areas in Canada. We're going to go down the list. You're going to get 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, all the way down to 19 and 20. I have arranged them alphabetically, and you have to tell me which city area is greater.
Okay.
All right. So, Brittany, we're going to start with you. The population of which, sorry, not city area, population-wise, I apologize. The population of which city is higher? Is it going to be Montreal, Quebec, or Toronto, Ontario?
It's based on vibes, I'm going to say Toronto.
Toronto is a correct answer. Brittany gets the points. Mike, going to you next. Is it going to be Calgary, Vancouver, or Vancouver, British Columbia? That's not right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was like, what
Calgary,
the heck?
Alberta, or
There you go.
Vancouver, British Columbia.
Both have hockey teams. I think of Vancouver as being the larger city for literally no reason, but I'm going to say that.
Yeah, with a population of about almost 2.5 million, Vancouver is a correct answer. Nicely done. Brittany, we're going to head back to you here. Which of these is larger? Is it going to be Edmonton, Alberta, or Ottawa, Gatineau, Ontario / Quebec? So it's Ottawa, Gatineau is kind of on the border of Ontario and Quebec, and it kind of encapsulates both cities in that same population.
Okay. Well, for Alanis Morissette reasons, I'm going to go with you, Ottawa got to know.
Perfect. I'm sitting here trying to come up with a pun for that, and it just rolls right off her tongue. Like I was like, "There's something here with got to know," and then she just, yeah.
That's incorrect, but that would be worth funny points if we were keeping track.
Absolutely.
Edmonton has got about 1.1 million. The Ottawa area is about 1.07. So,
okay.
Mike, we're heading over to you. Is it going to be Quebec City, Quebec, or Winnipeg, Manitoba?
I'm going to say Quebec City.
Unfortunately, not by a shade. It's Winnipeg. Winnipeg about 760,000. Quebec City 733.
Should have stuck with my hockey team theory from earlier. Okay.
Brittany, we're going to stay in Ontario this time. Is it going to be Hamilton, Ontario, or Kitchener, Ontario?
Well, I'm not sure I've heard of either of those, but Ontario does a lot of things like the United Kingdom, so I'm going to say Hamilton.
You have to wrap it. I'm sorry.
Hamilton.
Hamilton is a correct answer. Hamilton checking in 730 or so, and then Kitchener is just over 500,000. So we're getting down to the smaller cities in Canada.
Gotcha.
No, we're past the 8 that I've heard of.
Mike, you get, is it going to be London, Ontario, or Victoria, British Columbia?
I'm starting to think that the British had some influence in this particular country.
Yeah.
London. I am going to say Victoria, apropos of nothing.
Unfortunately, not. London's got about 420,000. Victoria sitting down about 360. All right. That means, Brittany, we're moving on to you.
Okay.
Is it going to be Halifax, Nova Scotia, or Oshawa, Ontario?
I just really like the name Halifax, so I'm going to go with Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Halifax is a correct answer. And for those keeping track, that is a hell of a fax to get right, Brittany. Nicely done.
I like it.
Mike. Okay, we're going to put you to the test here because like one of them is a very British name, and the other 100% is not. Mike, which one of these cities has a higher population? Is it going to be Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, or Windsor, Ontario?
Well, the Ontario is definitely seeming like it has a lot more of the bigger cities. I mean, I kind of knew anyway. So I'm going to say Windsor.
Windsor is not a correct answer. Windsor, though, is a correct answer. Windsor, Ontario is right. I tried to make a joke there about not being the right answer because of a Windsor, and I botched it. So
y'all
have to forgive me there.
You're good.
Not funny.
They can't all be winners, but you throw them up the wall and see what sticks. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. All right, Brittany, we're heading over to you. Question number 9. Is it going to be St. Catharines, Ontario, which is Niagara Falls, or Regina, Saskatchewan?
I'm going to pick the one that rhymes with fun, Regina.
Unfortunately, that Niagara Falls is slightly bigger. That's a 242 versus 224. Mike, we're going to end it with you.
We're getting to smaller than Huntsville territory. This is weird.
Is it Kelowna, 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 British Columbia, or St. John's, Newfoundland? Newfoundland, for our Canadian listeners out there. Both of you.
I don't know. Yeah, no clue. St. John's.
St. John's is the correct answer. All right. Brittany, what are our scores coming out of the... Did my voice just crack?
A little bit. Yeah.
It's about time they dropped. It's been so
long. Were those worth 10 points apiece or 1 point apiece?
1 point apiece.
Those are worth 1 point apiece.
Well, then after the hot seat, Mike has 3, and I have also 3.
Also not a hot seat.
It's the hot seat on my game.
Yeah.
Fine. The head-to-head, whatever the warm-up round is. It's 3-3. I don't know what things are called.
The pub trivia experience.
After the pregame, we got 3-3 tie, which means Brittany, you're still in control. Do you want to go first or second in hot seat round 1?
I will go first in hot seat round 1.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I got 15 minutes on the clock, a nonstop barrage of trivia questions and answers. When the timer goes off, the round will be over. Here we go. Brittany, what was ratified by all 13 states on November 15th, 1777?
The Articles of Confederation.
Articles of Confederation is correct. Mike, Tweedledee and Tweedledum are featured in which novel?
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is not a correct answer. They're actually
through the Looking Glass.
Through the Looking Glass.
Okay.
What we're looking for.
Okay. I didn't know which. I couldn't remember which one they appeared in.
Brittany, who is commonly referred to as the person who created the first printing press?
Johannes Gutenberg.
Johannes Gutenberg, hence the Gutenberg Bible is correct. Which, by the way, I'm not sure if it's still there. Was on display at the New York Public Library. It's amazing to look at. Mike, Thimphu is the capital city in what mountainous and small Asian country?
Nepal?
No, that'd be Bhutan.
It's funny. Bhutan popped into my head, and I rejected it for whatever reason.
Brittany, what sporting event has a strict dress code of all white?
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon is a correct answer. Mike, within 3 years, in what year did Janis Joplin sadly become another member of the 27 Club?
1970.
1970 on the nose. That is a correct answer. Brittany, what TV series showed the first interracial kiss on American network television?
Star Trek.
Star Trek is correct. Mike, Marcus and McFeely are the writers. Joe and Anthony are the directors of which top 5 highest grossing film of all time?
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame is correct. You avoided the trap because Infinity War is number 6.
Yeah, that's what I was hemming and hawing about. But
Brittany, which gas is produced during the decomposition of organic matter in the absence of oxygen?
Carbon dioxide?
No, it'd be methane.
Oh, okay.
Mike, Robert Van Winkle performed as which cold 1990s musician?
I was literally referencing this right before recording. Vanilla Ice.
Ice Ice Baby is correct. Brittany, the Rolling Stones, the Osmonds, and Taylor Swift have all released songs with which animal in the title?
Animal in the title. Horses.
Horses is correct.
Oh, okay.
Nice pull. Mike, she got that. You get this. Mike, how many stripes are in the Adidas logo?
Geez. Three?
3 is a correct answer. Brittany, located in southern Siberia in Russia, what lake is the deepest in the world?
Lake Baikal.
Lake Baikal is correct. Mike, which musician, a devout Democrat, insisted that John McCain stop playing his song Pink Houses at his political rallies?
John Mellencamp.
The Cougar is correct. John Mellencamp is what we're looking for. Brittany, in which sport did 12-time Olympic medalist Jenny Thompson compete?
Figure skating?
No, unfortunately not. That would be swimming. Mike, what is the term for a baby horse?
A foal?
Fool me once, full is correct. I got Brittany here. I'm trying to step my pun game up, okay? They're not all winners. Brittany, which European-born inventor secured a fortune by bringing his concept of the rotating magnetic field, the basis of most alternating current machinery, to the United States?
I believe that'd be Tesla.
Nikola Tesla is a correct answer.
Nikola.
Mike, which of the following is the most electronegative? Fluorine, bromine, or oxygen?
Oxygen.
No, that'd be fluorine.
Fluorine. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. I have the pronunciation there too, and I still mispronounced it. I want to put that on the record. Brittany, under what pen name did Theodore Geisel become a famous author?
Dr. Seuss? Or Dr. Seuss? It's Seuss in
It is Seuss.
Swiss,
Yeah.
I thought
but
you were
Dr. Seuss.
my pronunciation. So yeah, Dr. Seuss is correct.
Yeah.
Mike, for the 2005 film Guess Who, a reported $100,000 was spent digitally removing which Ashton Kutcher fashion accessory?
I have no idea. An ascot.
Oh no, that'd be his Kabbalah bracelet.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Brittany, in 1937, Walt Disney released a short called The Goddess of Spring, causing some to argue that it makes what daughter of Zeus, and not Snow White, the first Disney princess?
Persephone?
Persephone is correct. Mike, which famous composer was born in 1771 in Berlin?
Bach?
No, that'd be Beethoven.
Beethoven. Okay. Yep.
Brittany, how many teams are there in the current NFL, or the National Football League?
32?
32 is correct. Mike, Arabica and Robusta are varieties of which plant?
The coffee bean?
Coffee is what we're looking for, so yes.
Yeah.
Brittany, French Independence Day is celebrated each July 14th to commemorate the storming of which fortress?
The Bastille?
The Bastille is correct. Mike?
Ew.
Oh, my Lord. Puns and singing? This is rare form from Brittany Shaw tonight. We are in rarefied air. We're going to take the win. Mike, the 1979 film from Dudley Moore, 10, introduced many new listeners to which classical composition for Maurice Ravel?
I only remember one thing about 10, and that's not it. I don't know.
That would be Ravel's Bolero. Bolero.
Okay.
Brittany, named after his mother, what is the name of Kanye West's creative content company?
Yeezy Mama.
Easy, Mo. I wish I could give you a point. Again, you'd be winning in funny points right now, Brittany. That company is named Donda, Donda, or Donda. Mike, the city of Wabash, Wabash, in what central U.S. state was the first to be lighted by electricity?
I'm going to say Missouri?
Not a bad guess. Unfortunately, it's Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Brittany, Barani, Rudolph, and Randolph are all techniques in what bouncy sport?
Cricket.
No, that'd be trampolining.
I see where you're going with cricket and bouncy though.
Oh, I see. Okay, Mike, we're gonna go back over to you here. What American country song became the first single ever to achieve triple platinum status in Australia?
Oh my, wow. I'm like, it's either something by Keith Urban or just like Achy Breaky Heart. So I'm just gonna say Achy Breaky Heart.
Achy Breaky Heart is a correct answer.
Yes.
Oh my lord. All right, Brittany. Brisbane is the state capital of which southeastern Australian state?
Melbourne.
No, Queensland.
No. Oh no. I should have known that because Bluey.
Yeah, Natalie just pulled her subscription, by the way, her Patreon support. So.
I'm so sorry, Natalie. You have Tim and Jay. They're better at this than I am, apparently. I blame my geography knowledge.
Mike, within 3, how many U.S. vice presidents have gone on to become president?
Shit, do I have time to count them all? Adams, Jefferson. It's actually not that many, I don't think. Because then there was Johnson, other Johnson. I'm jumping ahead of myself there. There's a long string where they didn't. I'm going to say 12.
That is within 3. It's 15.
15. Oh wow, it is that many. Okay.
You got to think 8 of them were because of presidential death alone. So,
well, that's what. Yeah, those were the ones I was trying to count first. So,
all right, Brittany, we're heading over to you. In what decade did the World Health Organization declare smallpox eradicated?
The 80s, 1980s.
1980s is correct. It happened in 1980.
I would have said 70s because I knew it was early 80s, if anything. Yeah.
Mike, within 3 years either way, in which year did the first woman go to space?
84?
63.
Oh, fuck.
Valentina
Tereshkova. I did the American thing. Yep,
you did. Brittany, this folk rock supergroup formed in 1968 with members with the first names of David, Stephen, and Graham. What supergroup is it?
The Traveling Wilburys?
No, that'd be Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Mike, how many colored rings are in the Olympic target for archery?
How many colored rings are in the Olympic? And I'm locked and loaded, and then you go target for archery as opposed to flag. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Yeah. All those minutes of what I've spent watching Olympic archery are finally paying off. 7.
There are 5 golden rings. They're not.
Oh, okay, so I should have just said 5, which was the same answer.
It's the same answer. It's why I wrote that question. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome.
Brittany, Billie Eilish has a brother who is also a celebrated Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. What is his name?
Is it Phineas O'Connell?
Phineas O'Connell is correct. Mike, legendary for his skill at pitching ringers, Alan Francis is widely considered to be the best player ever in which sport?
I'm going to go back to where Brittany's well earlier and say cricket.
Oh, not a bad guess. Horseshoes.
Oh, ringers. Okay, gotcha.
Brittany, what archipelago is most famous as the destination of the second voyage of the HMS Beagle?
The Galapagos.
The Galapagos Islands is correct. Mike, what do you call an event in which people dance to music listened to on wireless headphones?
Shit. What is that called?
Literally the question I'm asking you.
I know. God.
If we were dancing right now, what would it be called?
Yeah, it's it's like a silent disco, something like that.
Silent disco is a correct answer.
Okay.
Brittany, what is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog?
Dusty?
No, his name is Gnasher.
Uh,
Mike, on a standard backgammon game, players move their pieces onto spaces that are in what shape?
Triangles.
Triangles is correct. Brittany, which band's memoirs include Tattoos and Tequila and The Dirt? Confessions of the world's most notorious rock band.
the Rolling Stones?
No, The Dirt, that would Tattoos and Tequila, The Dirt would be Motley Crue. Mike, who was the most famous person to sail aboard the HMS Beagle?
I'm guessing Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin is correct.
I'm sitting here going, was there somebody more famous?
And with that, hot seat round one comes to a close.
Oof.
Okay. So I have Mike getting 12 in that round for an overall score of 15. And I have myself getting 14 that round for an overall score of 17. And I'm like super happy I picked to go first in that round because I didn't know like shit about the questions Mike was getting. I knew like 2 of those.
I was having the same thought. I'm like, fuck, I'm knowing way more. I feel like I'm knowing way more of Brittany's questions than I am of mine.
Oh, my Lord. Hold on one second as we move into the halftime round. Well, those are your scores as we head into our halftime round. Your halftime category is going to be literature.
Woo!
What do y'all know about reading and shit?
I know that listening to books on tape still counts.
Yep.
I'll take that. That's how I get all my reading done now. I don't have time for anything else.
I barely have the focus for anything else. I've tried to sit down and read books, and I read, and I used to be able to do it really well, and now I'm like, wait, did I read that sentence already?
Yep. Oh, yeah. For me, it's because by the time I finally get a chance, I'm like, I read 2 sentences and then I'm like in and out of sleep.
Well, this is going to be fun because your halftime round is all things Bronte. I am going to give you the works of the Bronte sisters. So there is one novel by each of them and then a collection of poems by the 3 of them. You have to put them in order from earliest to latest, with each correct answer being worth 5 points.
Damn. It's like I can tell you which one was which Bronte sister, but
Like in publishing order?
The date of first publishing.
Okay.
Your works are Jane Eyre, poems by Currer, Ellis, and Acton Bell, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and Wuthering Heights. Again, those are Jane Eyre, poems by Currer, Ellis, and Acton Bell, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and Wuthering Heights. Looking for you to put those in order from earliest to latest. Lock in when you're ready.
I'm going to lock in.
I was about to lock in, but that's fine. Guess we both had to lock in at some point, right?
Yep.
Our answers are locked in. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we get any correct answers between them. Let's see, Mike, what did you have as the earliest work there?
I had the collection of poetry.
Brittany?
I had the Tenet of Wildfeld Hall.
Mike is going to get the points there. It is the poems of Kerr, Ellis, and Acton Bell that was released in 1846.
I was of two minds on that one. So,
all right, Brittany, what did you have second?
I had Jane Eyre second.
Mike?
So this is going to tip my hand on the rest of them, but to explain my strategy, I figured the poems probably came earliest, and then I figured they listed their aliases in order of birth order, which meant that the C, E, and A would come in the order from then. So Jane Eyre was my next choice as well.
Jane Eyre is correct. It was first released in October of 1847. All right, Mike, then what did that tell you about what's coming third?
So then I had Wuthering Heights third.
Brittany, what'd you have third?
I also had Wuthering Heights third.
1 month later, in November of 1847, was Wuthering Heights.
Wow.
Let that sink in. Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights a month from each other.
That's crazy.
That means fourth. Mike, what'd you have?
I had the Tenet of Wildfell Hall.
Brittany?
I had the poems.
Mike's going to get the point. That was released in 1848.
Yeah, Brittany, I was honestly the exact same thought process. I figured the poems was either going to be the earliest or the latest. And the only reason I went the way I did was because if I was going to use the logic about the order, the birth order in the list of the title.
Well, yeah, I basically was pretty sure that Charlotte was older than Emily, but I didn't know if Anne was the oldest or the youngest.
Yep.
And I figured it was either going to be they all published their novels and then they published a collection of poems from all of them, or they published the poems and then each did their own novel. And I ended up going the way where they published novels first and then their collection of poems.
Yep.
So luckily it worked out for me that two of those still were in the same place. Even though I decided Anne was oldest and was wrong about that.
So here's where this gets interesting, because the Anne novel I originally had written down was Agnes Grey.
Okay.
But I could not get to a firm answer on when Agnes Grey was first published. One source had it the same day as Wuthering Heights, November 24th. Another had it in December, but did not cite an actual date in December. So I had to go to her next most well-known novel. So, Brittany, what does that do to our scores going into Hot Seat Round 2?
Well, Mike had a clean sweep of those, so he's picking up 20 points for a total of 35. And I picked up 2 of those, so I got 10, and that gives me a total of 27. So Mike has a lead.
Mike's got the lead. It's still anybody's game as we go into Hot Seat Round 2. Brittany, first or second, what do you want?
I'll go second this time.
Mike, you're going to lead us off here. 15 minutes on the clock. Time will begin after I read your first question. Here we go. Mike, in 1930, Albert Einstein and a colleague were issued a U.S. patent. What was that patent for?
The theory of relativity?
Unfortunately, that'd be a patent for a refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
Let that sink in. Brittany.
Keep it next to the fridge.
What actress plays Clementine to Jim Carrey's Joel in the 2004 film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Kate Winslet?
Get off the damn door. Kate Winslet's a correct answer.
Nice job.
Randomly remembered a poster that I thought was Kate Winslet. I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, it's a beautiful movie. You should see it.
I get it confused with that other one with the brain stuff. Rain Man? No.
Beautiful
I don't know.
Mind?
Beautiful Mind, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, the male of which species of insect has their testicles explode during mating and then die?
Whichever insect this is, I'm really glad I'm not it. I'm going to start being a better person to ensure that I do not get reincarnated as it. I am going to say the bee.
You have to worry about that. They'll all be dead by the time you come back. Honeybee, I'm looking for.
What was that? The honeybee?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're
okay. I could have been more specific.
You're gonna get the points. To keep the kind of put in perspective, Their entire life is literally honey, nut.
Honey Nut Cheerio. That's the only reason I remember that is that meme. It's like their life is Honey Nut Cheerio.
Well, this is going its usual degree of terrible.
Oh my god.
All right. Brittany, I think we're heading over to you here. In what decade did Black Friday become synonymous with the day after Thanksgiving?
The 1960s.
1960s is correct. Mike.
Wow, I would have had that as more recent. Nice job.
Which of the following is not the real name of liquor offered by Republic Restorative Distillery in Washington, D.C.? Is it the Crybaby Tequila, Fascist Tears Vodka, or Dissent Gin?
I really want Fascist Tears Vodka to be a thing, and I'm pretty sure Crybaby Tequila is, so I'm going to say Dissent Gin.
Unfortunately not. Crybaby Tequila is fake. I believe we're going to Brittany next. Your time is back on. Brittany, what doll from the 1960s would say things such as, "Take me with you" when you pull her string?
Chatty Cathy.
Chatty Cathy is correct. Mike, which Chinese leader was famous for his little red book?
Mao?
Mao Zedong is correct. Brittany, coined in recent years, the term ludology often refers to the academic study of what? The academic study of what?
Can you spell ludology?
Ludology.
The study of Luddites.
Unfortunately, not be the study of video games.
Okay.
Mike, the first Pokemon video game was originally released on which platform?
Game Boy?
Game Boy is correct.
It's not Game Boy Color?
In my head, I never played it, but I picture it in black and white, but I can't.
I had Pokemon. We got Pokemon Red and Blue when the Game Boy Color came out.
Gotcha.
So.
That's the first one my brother had, was the red and blue that came on the Pokemon.
We were the first ones released in the U.S., so.
All right. Well, Brittany, we're going over to you next. Which Greek philosopher first proposed the concept of the atom?
Archimedes?
Unfortunately not. I'm going to mispronounce this gentleman's name. Democritus?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's either Democritus or Democritus. I don't know how you say it.
I don't either, yeah.
I wasn't alive then.
I would have asked him, I swear. Colorado's Tour de Cure, which raises money for diabetes research, happens on which type of instrument? Athletic accessory, we'll call it.
A treadmill?
No,
I don't understand the question. Okay. Oh, okay.
Like the Tour de France, the Tour de Cure, I guess.
It's a bicycle.
Oh,
bicycle race.
Okay. Yeah.
The Hunger Games series of novels was written by which author?
Suzanne Collins.
Suzanne Collins is correct. Mike, what fabric traces its roots back to ancient China?
Silk?
Silk is correct. Brittany, Prince wrote
that's literally the only one? Okay, cool.
Prince wrote the soundtrack to which 1989 film?
Batman?
Batman is correct. Mike, where would you be if you visited an ATM that offered Latin as a language?
Probably Vatican City.
Vatican City is correct.
I'm just loving the concept of ATMs in the Vatican.
Brittany, drawing 3 million visitors over 24 days, what U.S. state reportedly hosts the most attended state fair in the U.S.?
Is that Minnesota?
No, everything is bigger in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Mike, what Civil War battle was fought from July 1st to 3rd in 1863?
Vicksburg?
No, that'd be Gettysburg.
Double check it. I'm pretty sure Gettysburg was the 2nd to the 4th.
All right. Writing that down. We will come back to it. Brittany, which restaurant chain made a delivery to the International Space Station in 2001, paying Russians $1 million to transport their pizza?
Was it Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut is correct.
Chris, no need to double check it. It was the 1st to the 3rd. I don't know why I always had that ending on the 4th of July in my head.
It's all right. Mike, we're heading back over to you. What U.S. state grows the most coffee beans?
Washington?
No, it'd be Hawaii.
Ah, that makes sense.
Brittany, how many bags of wool did Baba Black Sheep have in the popular nursery rhyme?
Baba Black Sheep, heavy duty wool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3.
3 bags full is correct. Mike.
Vicksburg ended on the 4th of July. Okay, that makes more sense. Anyway, sorry, that was bugging me.
All right. Mike, both James Coburn and Nick Nolte earned Oscar nominations for which film?
James Coburn, Nick Nolte. Shoot. Oh man. Notoriously bad with westerns when it comes to film, and this is definitely. I'm almost positive this is a western. I don't have it. Pass.
That film was called Affliction.
Okay.
Brittany.
Oh, it's more recent. Okay, never mind. Yep. No,
it was not a western. Late 90s, I think.
Yeah, not a western. Yep.
Brittany, which short-lived TV show did Judd Apatow and Paul Feig collaborate on in 1999 before they teamed up for the 2011 film Bridesmaids?
New Secrets of Bold Christine.
Unfortunately, this would be Freaks and Geeks.
Uh-huh.
Mike, which American rock band concluded their 35-year career at a sold-out show in L.A. on New Year's Eve 2015?
American rock band, 35-year career, 2015. The Cars. I don't know.
Not a bad guess. 2 of these in one episode, by the way, is a little bit weird. This is also Motley Crue.
Oh, okay. Cars was a little earlier.
Brittany, which
also far better
multi-time Academy Award winner who died in 1966 was fired from their newspaper job because, quote, he lacked imagination and had no good ideas?
Orson Welles.
Unfortunately, not Walt Disney.
Okay.
Mike, the famed explorer Jacques Cartier is best known for mapping what country in the New World?
Ooh. Canada?
Canada is correct. Brittany, generally speaking, the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans in which direction?
Well, I suppose it depends on which way you're facing it, but sideways? You need me to be more specific than that?
Yes.
I believe it leans left.
What if you're on the other side of it, though?
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll make it a multiple choice answer, okay?
Okay.
Generally speaking, the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans in which direction? North, south, east, or west?
Well, I suppose it depends on which direction you're looking at it from. Never eat soggy waffles. I'm going to say west.
Unfortunately, not south.
Okay.
It leans south. Mike. Oh, Lord. Within 2 years, either way. In what year was the Battle of Yorktown that was featured in the hit Broadway show Hamilton?
1781.
1781 is correct. Brittany, what early wheeled forms of transportation were known as bone shakers?
Would those be like wagons?
Oh no, come
like
on,
Conestoga
Mercury.
wagons?
I want to ride my bicycle.
Oh. I thought you said 4 wheels. I don't know why. You didn't say it. I just heard 4 wheels in my head.
All right, Mike, heading over to you. In 2003, what space shuttle disintegrated upon re-entry, killing all 7 astronauts on board?
February 1st, 2003. Columbia.
Columbia, unfortunately, is a correct answer. Brittany.
That was a fun phone call to wake me up.
Somewhere in the world, there's a video of a young Chris doing this dance. But what singer made the twist a dancing craze?
Chubby Checker?
Chubby Checker is correct. Mike. The terms trolling, jigging, and chumming are all associated with which sport?
Fishing?
Fishing is correct. Brittany. What toxic chemical element was commonly used in classical painting and frescoes?
Lead?
Lead is a correct answer. Mike. Which university hosts the annual Ig Nobel Prize Awards, which recognize questionable scientific achievements like the invention of Beano?
Which university hosts the Ig Nobel Prizes? Stanford?
No, it's Harvard. And why do I have a space between I and G?
I don't know.
These are all good questions.
But it is Ig Nobel.
It is. No, it is. But, when you're going quick, I just kind of get into emotion reading what's there. Mike, Brittany, sorry. Brittany, within 3 years either way, in what year did the Soviet Union cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova become the first woman in space?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
1963.
1963 is correct. Hey, your recall is solid. Mike. Which Broadway musical featured a helicopter on stage?
Miss Saigon?
Miss Saigon is a correct answer. Brittany. The Fat Duck was a 3 Michelin star restaurant run by which English chef?
Anthony Bourdain?
No, it'd be Heston Blumenthal. Mike.
Okay.
Mike, what does a ring of roses refer to?
A ring of roses?
Sorry, I'll make this a little bit better of a question. What epidemic does a ring of roses refer to?
I wondered if that's what you were going for. The bubonic plague, I believe.
Bubonic plague or Black Death is what we're looking for. And Brittany, I believe we owe you one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find the hardest question I can. I'm just going to go to the next one on the list. Brittany, Earthquake Weather is the title of a solo album by which former member of The Clash?
That, if I could name any member of The Clash, that would probably help me. Earthquake Weather is Shaky Bick Shakes a Lot.
Not a bad guess. I do love his version of the shout.
Mm-hmm.
This would be Joe Strummer. Joe Strummer's what we're looking for. So
I've never heard of it, but I figured it had to be Joe Strummer if it was anybody.
Well, with that, we are out of our hot seat round 2. Going into our wager round, Brittany, what are our scores?
Mike picked up 11 points in that round for giving him an overall total of 46 points. I picked up 10, giving me an overall total of 37 points.
In a row?
In a row. I mean, not in a row, like cumulatively throughout the game. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
do
was
sort of understand that reference. And that I know it's a reference and I know where it's from. I just haven't seen the thing.
That was a brutal second hot seat round, though, right? It wasn't just me.
No, I didn't think I knew a lot of your questions either.
It felt very painful. Oh, yeah. Same. It wasn't. It didn't feel lopsided one way or the other. It was just like, these are tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The hot seat giveth and taketh away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I will your points if you get these wager round questions right or wrong.
Segways.
I try. I do try. We are on to our wager round. You know your points. You know how this works, but you can wager your points in any way, shape, or form. But you're going to wager them on the categories alone, not the questions themselves. You cannot wager more than your current total point allotment, and you must wager whole number points only. Are you ready for your wager round categories?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Your categories are literature, food, and U.S. presidential elections. Literature, food, and U.S. presidential elections. I'm glad I said elections and not erections. Lock in your wagers now.
That's a different kind of exit poll.
Yeah. If that had been the category, I would just blind locked Bill Clinton and called it a day.
We are into our wager round categories. Let's go ahead and let's get this party started with question number 1. Your category was in literature. Known for its magical realism, what 1960s novel tells a story of 7 generations of the same family living in the same town? As that town evolves through a civil war, a banana massacre, and ends with the town and the family being scoured from existence.
Locked in.
Chris, can I get a reread on that, please?
Known for its magical realism, which 1960s novel tells the story of 7 generations of the same family living in the same town? As that town evolves through a civil war, a banana massacre, and ends with the town and family being scoured from existence.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and lock in.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. The category was food. Because of its strong smell and sticky and slimy texture, name the traditional Japanese food that is actually whole fermented soybeans. It's typically served for breakfast alongside rice and either karashi mustard, soy, or tare sauce.
I'll go ahead and lock in.
Many refer to this as a, quote, acquired taste.
Oops, sorry. I'll go ahead and lock in. Forgot there was a second sentence.
I'll lock in too.
We are moving on to question number 3. Your category was presidential elections. This is a little bit long, so bear with me as I get through it. 3 times in U.S. history, the 2 major party candidates hailed from the same state. In 2016, both Trump and Clinton were from New York, just like in 1944 when both FDR and Thomas Dewey were also from New York. The one that I'm leaving out, though, is the election of 1920, featuring former Governor James M. Cox, who lost to a man whose presidency took a hit following the Teapot Dome scandal. They were both from which U.S. state that joined the Union in 1803?
Locked in.
I'll lock in as well.
It took me longer to read that question than it did for you two to lock in on it. So let's go question by question through this. Starting off with question number 1, the category was literature. Known for its magical realism, which 1960s novel tells a story of 7 generations of the same family living in the same town? As the town evolves through a civil war, a banana massacre, and ends with the town and the family being scoured from existence. Mike, your answer and your wager.
Yeah, I thought about this for a long time, but I didn't come up with anything. I was still confused by the phrase banana massacre. So I just ended up passing. I didn't have anything. And I wagered 10 on this one, unfortunately.
It's a pretty decent sized plot point in the book. Brittany.
I believe this is by Gabriel Garcia Marquez and is 100 Years of Solitude. And I wagered 16.
100 Years of Solitude is a correct answer. Brittany's going to pick up the points.
It's been on my list for a long time.
Moving on to question number 2. The category was food. Because of its strong smell and sticky and slimy texture, name the traditional Japanese food that is actually whole fermented soybeans and is typically served for breakfast alongside rice, karashi mustard, soy, or tare sauce. This is the definition of an acquired taste. Brittany, your answer and your wager.
So I wagered 16 on this one as well. And I know that miso paste is crushed up fermented soybeans, so I'm hoping this is just miso. And so I said miso.
Mike.
Food is not my forte, so I wagered 0 on this one, so I didn't give it too much thought. And based on the cluing, I locked in stinky eel.
I think you're thinking of stinky unagi.
Mhm. It's a
Right.
state of mind.
It is. Unfortunately, no correct answers. This is a food called natto.
Okay.
Natto. It looks disgusting. All right, with that, we're moving on to question number 3. U.S. presidential elections is the question. 3 times in the history, the two-party major candidates hail from the same state. In 2016, both Trump and Clinton were from New York, just like in 1944 when FDR and Thomas Dewey were also from New York. The one I'm leaving out was the election of 1920, featuring former Governor James M. Cox, who lost to a man whose presidency took a hit following the Teapot Dome scandal. They were both from which U.S. state that joined the Union in 1803? Brittany, your answer and your wager.
So I know that the Teapot Dome scandal was Harding. I don't know where Harding was from. However, a substantial number of presidents were from Ohio, and 1803 sounded like it could be the right time frame for Ohio. So I said Ohio, but I also wagered 0, so I didn't try to reason it out more than that.
All right, Mike, it could all come down to this. What was your answer and your wager?
So of the 3 categories, U.S. presidential elections was the one I felt the strongest about. So I wagered 19 on this one, and I do believe that Harding was from Ohio, so I said the same thing.
Warren G. Harding was from Ohio. Nicely done to both of you. You picked up the correct answers. Brittany, where does that leave us?
Well, it leaves us in an interesting spot, or what could have been an interesting spot had I not, messed things up for myself by wagering 0 on a question that I apparently knew. But since I got 16 on the literature, but then lost 16 on the food and wagered nothing on the presidents, I end up with a grand total of 37 points. Mike lost 10 on literature, but picked up 19 on presidents for an overall gain of 9, which takes him up to 55, if my math is correct.
Well, that math is mathing, and that makes Mike our winner here tonight.
Yes.
Nice.
Well done, Mike.
Good game. Good game.
I wish I was keeping score of the number of times we faced off and how many times either of us have won.
Yeah.
But maybe there's some listener out there who's been keeping track of it. Just clear.
It's a very even matchup, I think.
They're always fun matchups. I love having
absolutely
together because legitimately I'm going to have a good time no matter what happens because I'm not the one playing. So
I always enjoy facing off against Mike.
Always
if nothing else, we're always bound to make a very similar joke to something.
Yeah.
And the best part about this being a hot seat head-to-head matchup is 1, it's just you two against each other, but 2, we're out of here in an hour 15. So win.
Yeah.
For sure.
But nicely done. Y'all have a good time tonight.
I did. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Brittany, why did you shock there? I did actually.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, life kind of sucks sometimes, and
the
world is somewhat on fire at the moment. So my ability to have a good time remains in question at all times right now. But I had a wonderful time.
I will take it. Well, the good news is hopefully I'll be seeing both of you later on over the summer at SporkleCon in Chicago. Fingers crossed.
Pretty good chance I'll be there.
We should probably
hoping to.
Too. No. You can make Clerks references, but I can't make a Clerks 2 reference. Seriously?
I think you broke up. I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it. I also wouldn't have gotten it, but
we're going to leave it.
So funny, Chris.
I will see both of you in Chicago, fingers crossed, but we should probably cross dicks too.
I'll find one.
It's all my juvenile humor from Mr. Kevin Smith. But you know what? We had a good time tonight. Check the show notes for all of our bonus content and all that. But honestly, patreon.com/PTEBB is the best way to support the show and all the shows in the PTE network. You heard enough from me. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
And I've been Brittany.
We'll see you next week. Until then, have a good one.